kids, that means camp. It is also a great job opportunity for teenagers looking for a new way to spend the summer after 2 years of just way too much screen time because of the pandemic. So here with me now is Andy Pritikin. He is the owner and executive director of Liberty Lake Day Camp in Burlington, New Jersey, and RJ Watson, a counselor at Liberty Lake Day Camp. Thank you both for being here.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Andy, I want to start with you. So you also have connections to the American Camp Association, and this year we are seeing camp numbers through the roof. Explain what's going on here.
Yeah, all of a sudden, supply and demand has really changed, and I think that's because of parents, the cost-benefit analysis of what they felt the camp experience was, especially people who never went to camp themselves, who may have thought it was just a bunch of kids outside playing kickball. After a year and a half of being cooped up with their kids, doing virtual learning and all that kind of stuff, all of a sudden the proposition of camp has just, woo! They're like, we'll pay double.
Yeah, but camp organizers like yourself, you're running into this issue where you have all of these campers enrolled, and yet you are dealing with a shortage of camp counselors.
Right. There are actually camps out there that are taking less campers because they're worried about hiring enough staff. That is an issue, but like we talked about earlier, that's happening everywhere.
But this is a great opportunity for teenagers. And RJ, last year was your first year as a counselor. Did you grow up going to camp?
I didn't. The one camp I remember going to was like inside of a school somewhere. There was like a tiny playground. It was hot, no air conditioning. We were doing worksheets. It was horrible. So to have the experience of Liberty Lake, it's amazing, especially for teens who want to push themselves out there or who have you know, a natural gift with kids. You would love Liberty Lake.
And so I know that growing up in Philly, you know, being around a lake and doing all of these outdoor camp activities is not necessarily like in your wheelhouse, but you loved the experience. What was it about it that really resonated with you?
The kids make the experience. So when you have kids that are super hyped about what you're gonna do and they're super into it, it makes it so much better because it draws you in, it forces you to get into it. Like, I was never an outdoors person, but now all I want to do is be in the outdoors. Right. And I think laying on the grass with just like eating popsicles was probably my favorite part of the
I love that. Now, Andy, we keep hearing about how the pandemic has taken this mental toll on a lot of our teenagers. Why do you think that there are not more teens who are rallying around these open positions?
Well, if you've never been to camp yourself, it's hard to understand what it is. If your reference is Wet Hot American Summer or something, and if your parents never went to camp and aren't encouraging you to work at camps, you don't understand the leadership opportunities that you get. If you can take care of a group of 8-year-old boys, you could pretty much do anything in your entire life. Right?
Right.
It's tough stuff. And working outside, disconnecting from technology, right? RJ said it himself, laying in the grass and having 5-year-olds jump on him was like the highlight of his summer. But most kids, most teenagers are so tied to their electronics, to their screens, that disconnecting, it brings a little anxiety with it, right? And yet, by the end of the summer, most people RJ's age, college students and such, they're thanking us for the opportunity.
Right, so there are those benefits. And then also, like you touched on, they're getting all of these other skills that, you know, you can't really put on paper.
Soft skills, right? So at school, you learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, okay? At camp, you learn how to play nice in the sandbox with others, which you know now as an adult working in a workplace is the most important skill that you can possibly have. So management skills, communication skills, managing your stress levels in 100 degrees with liquid sunshine, okay? If you can get through that, that's a serious rite of passage, right? When people go off to college, they say they learn more out of the classroom than they did in the classroom. That's what camp's about. It's all that out of the classroom stuff.
Okay, so parents and teens look to your camps for jobs because obviously they are hiring. Okay, Andy Pritikin and RJ Watson, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
She brings me